morning. Myself Nidhi Khetia. Today we study the our subject that is pharmacognosy and phytochemistry 2. That's called is BP 503 TP. Okay. In this subject we learn the our second unit, that is drugs. Okay. So in second unit we we learn the alkaloids. Okay, so earlier lecture we see the introduction of the alkaloids and some drugs of the alkaloid. So today's our study of the content is also drugs of the alkaloid. Okay, so in this today's our lecture we conduct these two drugs, that is opium and belladonna. Okay, so first that is opium. This is a picture of the opium. Okay, so opium. So synonym of the opium, that is raw opium or opium poppy or breadseed opium. Okay, then biological source, that is it is a dried latex obtained from the unripe seed pods of the Papaver somniferum leaf. Okay, this biological name of the opium, that is Papaver somniferum. Okay, and it's belong to the Papaveraceae family. Okay, then geographical source, that is Papaver somniferum is originally a native of warmer parts of the Western Asia. Okay, western side of the Asia. It is mostly cultivated in India, Pakistan, then Afghanistan, Iran, then Turkey, Russia, China, and European countries. Okay, this mostly growing in the western countries of the Asia, western region of the Asia. Okay, in countries like the India, Pakistan, Afghanistan, Iran, Turkey, Russia, China, and Europe. Okay, now we see the cultivation and collection of the opium. Okay, so the seeds of the opium are cultivated in benches. Okay, so this is the ensure that the entire crop is not affected by the climatic condition like frost and drought. Okay, so the cultivation is done in the months between September and April. Okay, September to April, this is a cultivation period of the opium. Okay, a gap of the 25 centimeter should be maintained between two consecutive plants. Okay, around two plants, gap of the 25 centimeter. Okay, between this opium two plants. So the before showing the sheets, they are mixed with the sands properly. Okay, before the showing sheets growing up period, so before the showing the seeds, they are mixed with the sand properly. Okay, and about 5 to 6 capsules appear and each plant and in it flowers in the month of the May to June. Okay, this is the growing up period, the cultivation period, that is September to April. Okay, September and April. And growing up flower, growing up poppies, growing up period, that is capsule growing up period, that is May to June. Okay, then after the petals fall from the poppies, the pod, which is about the size of a golf ball. Okay, size around the ball. Okay, golf ball is lanced and the opium latex is extruded. Okay, lanced and then opium latex, that is extruded. Then it is a dry latex. Okay, we know that opium that is a dried latex. So we what you see here is one lancing. So these figures are the see that the one that is a knife and lancing the and incision of the opium. So then after the latex become so okay. So they made with a special knife which has 4 blades about 10 to 16th inch of their size. Okay, then clearly visible in the photos. So essentially the latex is a pink color. Okay, latex it is a pink color. Later it changes to the black. Okay, after the in-season period and some time after the some time, in season and after the some time, so they convert in a black. Okay, so latex generally fresh latex are in a pink color. Okay, pinkish like latex is a pinkish like, but later they change into black. Okay, so first the poppy balls are incised with the knife, and then latex are become pinkish. Okay, so we see the latex, and then after the some period of the time they convert into blackish color. Okay, so the cultivation of the poppies are lensed in the afternoon, and the latex is scraped off the next morning. Okay, when pods ripen like soften. Okay, ripen like ripen means soften. So at the different time in the field. Okay, different time we collect that. Okay, so each pods can be lensed from the 4 to 7 time. Okay, one poppy ball, opium ball, we incise the 4 to 7 time. Okay, lens that. Then the lensing take a great deal of the time and attention. So several pods can be scraped before the opium is placed into the container. Okay, so many pods to cut and scraped. Okay, so this is a cut and scraped process. This pictures may indicate that. Okay, mention that. So the opium collection is weighted on a daily basis before the officer of the narcotic department. Okay, officer of the narcotic department. It is generally opium are included in Schedule X. Okay, so it is a dangerous. So it can include in a narcotic department. Okay, so the opium collect in the weight on a daily basis before the officer of the narcotic department. Okay, then after the latex has been collected, all the patients from an area take their opium to weight and meter. Okay, then their opium has been scraped into standard container of known weight, and 1/10 of the hectare produces small amount of the latex. Okay, so this is a collection process. So now we see the another topic, that is microscopic characteristic like morphology. Okay, so their order, that is a strong and strongest and characteristic. Okay, so in characteristic like the order that is a strong. Okay, and the test that is a test in bitter, then color that is a varies depending on the type of the opium. So for instant Indian opium is dark brown, while manipulated Turkish opium is chocolate brown in color. Okay, now we see the chemical constituents. So opium containing more than 19 alkaloids, some of which are combined with the meconic acid, other with sulfuric acid, and some as free alkaloids. Okay, opium having the 19 more than 19 alkaloids. Some of the alkaloids that is meconic acid derivatives, or some of the alkaloids that is sulfuric acid, and some that is free alkaloids. Okay, with sulfuric acid and some as a free alkaloids. So there mainly three alkaloids are the present, that is phenanthrene, benzyl isoquinoline, and phenyl alkyl amine. Okay, phenanthrene, benzyl isoquinoline, then phenyl alkyl amine. This is a three main chemical constituent which is present in the alkaloids. Okay, now we see the one table of the alkaloid chemical constituent. The first, that is opium alkaloids. They generate the phenanthrene group, and then after benzyl isoquinoline group, and then phenylalkylamine group. Okay, in phenanthrene group they generate the morphine, codeine and thiamine. Okay, then benzyl isoquinoline, that is they generates the noscapine, that is narcotin, then papaverine. These two groups are for the available in the benzyl isoquinoline group. Okay, then after the narcin, that is included in a phenylalkylamine group. Okay, so main three groups, opium alkaloids having the mainly three groups, that is phenanthrene, and second one that is benzyl isoquinoline, and third one that is a phenylalkylamine. Okay, so in phenanthrene group they having the three alkaloids, that is three constituent, that is morphine, codeine and thiamine. Okay, and then benzyl isoquinoline group they having the two constituents, that is narcotic and papaverine. Okay, narcotin and papaverine. Noscapine, narcotin also known as the noscapine. Okay, then phenylalkylamine group they having the one, that is a narcine. Okay, so this is a chemical constituents of the opium. Now we see the chemical test. So first of all, opium is dissolved in water and then ferric chloride solution is added. First opium is dissolved in water. Okay. After the opium dissolved in water, adding the ferric chloride in solution. Okay, its result the generate the observation they generate the reddish purple color. So the change in color occurs due to presence of the meconic acid in opium. Okay, first what we do first, so first that is opium dissolved in water. Okay, and after the dissolving of the water, we adding the ferric chloride in the solution of the opium. Okay, then after the adding ferric chloride, and we observe that the reddish purple color, and the change in color occurs due to the presence of the meconic acid in opium. Okay, then another test, that is the when opium is treated with the small amount of the nitric acid, orange red color is produced. Okay, other test, that is opium is treated with the small amount of the nitric acid, they produce the orange red color. Okay, so this test occurs due to the presence of the morphine in opium. Okay, first what we do in second test, first that is opium, we take the opium and adding the small amount of the nitric acid, and they generate the orange red color. Okay, then why they generate the orange red color? Because the morphine is present in their chemical constituent. Okay, so these two tests for the opium, identification of the opium. Okay, then now we see the uses of the opium. So first that is we see the uses as per the chemical constituent. Okay, so first that is a morphine. First chemical constituent, that is morphine. Okay, so in upper corner we see the top of the upper corner, we see the structure of the morphine. Then now we see now we see the uses of the morphine. Okay, so most powerful analgesic used in cases of the severe pain. Okay, it is a morphine. It is a most powerful analgesic. We use for the painkillers. Okay, purpose of the painkillers. So severe pain as a post-operative post-operative pains like and then bone fracture, then cancer patients, and in case of the angina, we see for morphine we use for the any severe pain, remove the any pain or anginas. Okay, so remedy is a convulsion, then precede the use of the anesthetic to increase their efficacy. Okay, and then used as a antagonist for poisonous effect of the alkaloids as a stretching, atropine and phytostigmine. Okay, These are all are the use of the morphine. Now we see the use of the codeine. In upper corner we see the structure of the codeine, and now we see the uses of the codeine. Okay. So it is a weaker in intensity of than the morphine. Okay. Codeine having the intensity weaker than the morphine. Okay. So they produce the less tendency to addition. Okay. So codeine depress the cough. Codeine used for the depression of the cough. Okay. Depresses the cough center in the brain. Then cause the constipation and hypocynesis. Okay. Then now we see the heroin. That made one of the most chemical constituent of the morphine. Sorry, opium. Okay. So now we see the structure of the opium. Heroin and uses of the opium. Heroin. So it is a synthetic diacetyl derivative of the morphine. Okay. It is a 5 times more potent to the morphine. Okay. So it is a most preferred analgesics. Okay. Then papaverine, that is a smooth muscles relaxant. Okay. Papaverine used for the smooth muscles relaxation. Okay. This is a structure of the papaverine. So now we see these side effects. So one of the most common side effect for the all drugs, that is constipation, nausea, vomiting and sedation. Then shrinking pupils. Then some side effect do not need any medical attention, as your body gets used to the medicine. This side effect is a disappear. Okay, when you stop the medicine and their side effect that is disappear. Okay, so opium is habit forming. Okay, opium is a habit forming agent. So if you feel the medicine is not working, then do not use more than prescribed dose, because that is a habit forming agent. Okay. So now we learn the another drug, that is a belladonna. Okay. So this is a figure of the belladonna plant. Okay. Flower, leaf and stem. So synonym of the belladonna, that is belladonna leaf, belladonna herb, belladonna folium and singular patty in Hindi. Okay. Now we see the biological soaps. So it's consist dried leaf and subaerial parts of the plant, that is Atropa belladonna leaf. Okay, their biological name, that is Atropa belladonna. There belongs to the Solanaceae family. Okay, their family name, that is Solanaceae family. Then their geographical source, that is it is a indigenous and cultivated in England and other European countries. Okay, mostly cultivated in England and other European countries. In India, it found in the western Himalayas from Simla to Kashmir and some area of the Himachal Pradesh. Okay, in India, belladonna found in the India in western Himalayas from in western Himalayas, Simla and Kashmir, and also some area of the Himachal Pradesh. We found the belladonna plants. Okay, and mostly cultivated in the England and European countries. Okay. So this is the entire plants and fruits like these of the belladonna. Okay. So now we see the cultivation and collection of the belladonna. So cultivation of the belladonna at altitude of the 14,000 meter from sea level is found to be satisfactory. Okay, it's cultivated from the 14,000 meter from the sea level. Okay, then belladonna barriers are crushed to get the sea for cultivation. Okay, belladonna barriers are crushed to get the sea for cultivation period. So proper processing like washing and sieving is performed, and only healthy seeds are used for the cultivation. Okay, not all seeds for the cultivation, but only and only healthy seeds like ripening seeds are used for the cultivation of the belladonna new plants. Okay. Then seeds are showing by the broadcasting method in well prepared beds with the application of fungicides like diathon. Okay, seeds are sown by the broadcasting method. Okay, in well prepared beds with the application, the seeds having their own application like fungicide like the diathon. Okay, showing is done in May and July. Okay, May to July period of this 2 months we show the belladonna plants. Okay, they're showing the period of the belladonna plants. Okay, then these seedlings are ready for the transplantation by the end of the September. Okay, then fertilizer like urea, potash, and sulfur phosphate are given as per need. Okay, for the fertilizer process, we use the urea, potash, and sulfur phosphate. Okay, in insecticidal spray like shaving and tried when the plant reach their maturity. Okay, so the leaves and as well as the flowering tops are cut and sun dried. Okay, then during the drying is taken to retain the green color and the yield per hectare is found to be 200 to 600 kilogram. Okay, so now we see the morphological part, that is macroscopical part of the belladonna. Okay, so now first we see their color. Okay, color of their plant. So leaf like green to brownish color, brownish green color. Okay, green to brownish green color. Then flower purple to yellowish brown color. Okay, and then fruit that is green to brown color. Okay, green to brownish color. Okay, brown color. Then odor. So odor that is a slight and characteristic. Okay, then taste that is bitter and aroused. Then size of their plant, that is in first leaves. So leaves their size that is 5 to 25 centimeter long, and their weight that is 2.5 to 12 centimeter in wide. Okay, then flowers that is a corolla 2.5 centimeter long and 1.5 centimeter in wide. Okay, their flower size. Then fruit size that is a 10 centimeter in diameter. Okay, 10 centimeter in their diameter. And now we see the shapes of the plant. So leaves like ovate and lanceolate. Okay, then flowers like campanule and small reflected lobes. And then fruits subglobular in shape. Okay, so this is a morphological part of the belladonna. So this is a morphological part. First, that is the seeds, that is a brownish color. Okay, then this is a root, this is a flower, and all the morphological parts are available in this picture. Okay, so now we see the microscopic characteristic of the belladonna. Okay, TS of the belladonna, that is a transverse section of the belladonna. Okay, so it is a dorsiventral leaf, that is a dorsiventral leaf. Then collenchyma above and below the midrib. Okay, collenchyma, it is there a place that is above, and midrib that is the in below side. Okay, so unicellular covering trichome and unicellular glandular trichome are available in their TS. Okay, so microspondylar calcium oxalate crystals also available in their microscopic characteristic. Okay, So the palisades ratio is a 5 to 7. Okay, the leaf, that is a dorsiventral, then collenchyma is above and below the midrib. Okay, and then unicellular covering trichome and glandular trichome also available. Okay, then microspondylar and calcium oxalate crystals also available, and their palisade ratio, that is a 5 to 7. This is a TS of the belladonna. Okay, so here upper side, that is a trichome unicellular and globular trichome. Okay, after the trichome, first that is upper epidermis. In upper epidermis we see the stomato, and first that is palisades, that is a collenchyma. Okay, upper side, that is a collenchyma, and then midrib, that is available in below that. Okay, and then some calcium oxalate crystals also here. Okay, so this is a transverse section of the belladonna leaf. Now we see the chemical constituents of the belladonna. So the total alkaloids contain the drug in 0.4 to 1% and varies in different part of the plant, like root. Plant like root, that is a 0.6%, then stem, that is a 0.05%, then leaves like 0.4%, and then unripe and ripening berries, fruits like 0.9 to 0.21%, 0.19 to 0.21%, and seeds having the 0.33% of the alkaloids in their plants. Okay, in their different parts. Okay, so the main alkaloids are the 1-hyoscyamine. It is a racemic from atropine. Okay, their main alkaloid name, that is a hyoscyamine. It is of 1-hyoscyamine. Okay, there is a racemic mixture of the atropine. Okay, and the drug also containing belladonnanine, scopolamine, then hyoscyanin, then pyridine, and N-methyl pyrroline. Okay, so the latter two are the volatile bases. Okay, so this is all are the chemical constituent figures. First, that is atropine, then second one, that is a hyoscyamine, third one, that is a hyoscine, and fourth one, that is a homotropin. Okay, so now we see the uses of the belladonna. So belladonna is used as a sedative to stop bronchial spasm in asthma and whooping the cough, and also cold and heavy fever remedy. Okay, it is also used for the Parkinson's disease. It is the brain disorder, the cause of granule loss of the muscle control. Okay, colic, motion sickness, and as a painkiller. Okay, we use belladonna for the painkiller also. So belladonna is used in ointment, so that apply to the skin and joint pain. Okay, in rheumatism, so leg pain caused by the disc and backbone pushing on these sciatic nerves. Okay, like sciatica. Okay, it's problem of the sciatica, and then nerve pain, that is a neuralgia. Okay, so belladonna used for the ointment. Belladonna used in the ointment preparation, so that apply on the skin. Okay, for the joint pain like rheumatism, arthritis, then leg pain causing by the disc in the backbone pushing of the sciatic nerve, that is sciatica, and then nerve pains, that is a neuralgia. Okay, any person having these ointment, they use for this ointment for the pain remove. Okay, then belladonna is also used in plantar like medicine field gauze applied to the skin. Okay, for this treatment, psychiatric disorder and behavior disorder called hyperkinesis. Okay, excessive sweating, hyperhidrosis, excessive sweating also used for the hypersensitive excessive sweating, that is a hyperhidrosis, and also used for the bronchial asthma. Okay, because they reduce the cough production. Okay, whooping the cough. So now we see the side effect of the belladonna. So belladonna is likely unsafe when taken by mouth. Belladonna is likely unsafe when they taken by mouth. Okay, so it contains a chemical that can be toxic. Okay, it contains some chemical constituent that is toxic for the mouth. Okay, so side effect can include like a dry mouth if we belladonna take with the mouth. Okay, so the side effect like the dry mouth, enlarged pupils, then blurred vision, then red dry skin, fever, fast heartbeat, inability urinate and or sweating, then hallucination, spasm, mental problem, then conversation and coma. Okay, these all are the side effect of the belladonna when we use intake with the mouth. Okay, because the some constituents are unsafe for the mouth preparation. Okay, so now today we learn the two drugs, that is opium and belladonna. Okay, opium biological source, that is Papaverum somnifera, and then belladonna, their biological source, that is the belladonna, Atropa belladonna. Okay, so now we end our lecture. So thank you to all.